taken that responsibility, I believe, for about 2 years is the term of office. And congratulations on just one more. I don't know how you put all this on your schedule, good brother, but, hey, you're Billy Murphy, so you can do it.
Hey, I hope so.
Yes, sir.
Let's turn it up, folks.
Pray for me.
We join you in that for sure. Let's go to the other side here. Mr. Kevin Harris, Office of Public Affairs for the Mayor.
Wow.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, sir. You joined us for a purpose of Kevin?
Well, yeah, I wanted to just call in because there were a lot of things that that I thought were being said that really needed to be clarified. Particularly with regards to the press conference yesterday. What the mayor was seeking to do with the press conference yesterday was to fulfill the obligation that she takes very seriously to release information to the public as soon as we're able to do it. And we know, and the mayor said this at the press conference, we know that the information that we have today still does not answer all of the questions that need to be answered. But that is why you need to continue to move forward with an investigation. And the other thing that's important for people to remember, too, is that just because we don't know the answers to some of these questions today doesn't mean that we won't know tomorrow. It doesn't mean that we won't know the day after that, which is why you have to continue moving forward with the investigation. But we also have an obligation to, as soon as we are able to release information to the public, to release that information to the public for what it is. And that's what we did yesterday. And what we know from the information that we released yesterday is that what we have so far is still incomplete. A lot of the dots still do not connect, which the mayor acknowledged. And what we also acknowledged yesterday is that what everyone knows is that it's clear that there were mistakes that were made in the Freddie Gray mass, in the Freddie Gray death, particularly the fact that medics were not called. We know that medics should have been called immediately. And that's one of the things that the commissioner ordered an immediate review and retraining of all of the officers immediately to make sure that they understood and that they knew that. And we also know that, based on the preliminary autopsy results, again, a lot of the dots don't connect. It doesn't show that his body had trauma, yet somehow he ended up with a spinal cord injury. So that's the information that we have right now. It still does not answer all of the questions, but we wanted to get that information out to the public and let them know this is what we have so far, this is where we are, so we got to keep moving forward because we owe the community answers, and we need to know what transpired that day so that if the facts lead us to where someone needs to be held accountable, we can do that, and that the people who are in an authority to hold those folks accountable have the information to do it.
Well, Kevin, let me respond. I think we all know that this is not the mayor's fault. We all know that. Number two, we all know that she's got a tiger by the tail because just because you appoint a police commissioner doesn't mean that you can control his day-to-day behavior to anybody's satisfaction. And you have an even worse problem. This is a dysfunctional police department. It's got a lot of good cops in it, but it has a level of dysfunctionality because it has a history of poor leadership. Because we had a revolving door under the previous mayor, not Sheila, not Stephanie, but Martin. And he appointed 7 police commissioners in the 8 years that he was there. I mean, that's hardly a recipe for a stable, healthy police department. So we know that she inherited a dysfunctional police department. But the point we're trying to make is that after she firmly stated her position about what she wanted, those cops didn't deliver. For example, we didn't hear Rodriguez admit that this man cried out for medical help and didn't get it, or that he should have gotten medical help. And we didn't hear Rodriguez or that admit that there was no probable cause for the arrest. And I thought the mayor did an excellent job. I mean, if they had followed through and done the same level of accountability and transparency that the mayor told them to do, we wouldn't be critical at all of this press conference. We'd be unhappy that the investigation had not been completed to anybody's satisfaction, including the mayor. But it wasn't the mayor who disappointed us. It was Commissioner Bass and Deputy Commissioner Rodriguez. I want to make that clear.
Okay.
They were less than candid. And so I think we need more information, and we need to get it from them. They need to release the police statements up to now. We need to know what these 6 cops have been doing in response to this incident. Have they taken a Fifth Amendment? Did they make statements? Can we see their statements to determine the level of accuracy that they have? Whether they contradict one another, whether they were complete, etc. So
we listen to the Larry Young Morning Show, folks. 10 a.m.
Is she going to release or order them to release the radio tape? And so we can hear the transmission. There was some talk of that, but, you know, after she was very specific, the police officers who came out there were very muddy, very unspecific in what they were going to continue to do and the status of various things. So on the probable cause issue and on the police statement issue, no definitive answer.
Right. And so I couldn't, I'll be honest, I couldn't hear all of that, but I will respond to the part that I did hear. With regards to the release of reports or any other information that we have, that is something that we are committed to doing as soon as we can. One of the reasons when you're doing investigations like this, the reason why we move slowly to verify all of the information is because we still have officers that are still being interviewed, and some of those officers need to be re-interviewed. And you don't want a situation where, for example, what we saw in South Carolina, where clearly the videotape contradicts everything that's in the report. So while officers are still being interviewed, you don't want a situation where they can see something in the news and then fix their accounts to fit what's in the news to create their own narrative, because that doesn't help us get to the truth. And so as soon as we're able to continue doing the interviews and doing the re-interviews and meeting with residents and taking into account witnesses' accounts and verifying that information and scrutinizing it, that information will be forthcoming, but it's a balance that we have to strike between making sure that we give the public all the information that they deserve, but also making sure that we don't potentially inadvertently do something that makes it difficult later on to hold people accountable because the investigation was botched. So it's a very difficult balance that we're trying to strike here. And with regards to probable cause, I've heard the commissioner say that running, I think, and I remember him saying this the other day, that running is not illegal. Is not probable cause. And the mayor, I think, was very forthright, even with regards to the report that a knife was found on Mr. Gray. She was very forthright in saying that having a knife isn't necessarily probable cause to arrest someone. So we still got questions there as to why these officers pursued Mr. Gray to begin with, which unfortunately, started the events that ended in his tragic death. So we're going to keep moving forward and trying to get out as much information as we possibly can. And the one other thing that I heard was that the reforms that are needed in the police department, we agree. And all we ask people to do is look at this mayor's track record. For the first time, Baltimore City Police Department is being pushed to adopt national best practices and standards. That was not happening before. No other mayor before this one dared to ask the Department of Justice to come and review her department, check our work, make sure we are doing what we need to be doing. That hasn't happened before. That level of accountability and responsibility has not been at play before. So this is a mayor that's committed to this. This is a mayor that understands that the work is difficult, that it's hard, but just because we're going through a rough period right now and we need to get all the facts out, that doesn't mean that you back away from that work. This is a mayor that's going to dig in her heels, and she's going to keep going because this city deserves better, and she's fighting for it every day.
I got to ask this question. The clock's over here, though. Kevin, do we have, I've been on this one, and I still want to ride it out, the 10-day rule for these officers. Am I wrong to say that one of the reasons for this delay is because some of these officers are saying they are going to be holding to the Bill of Rights on the 10-day rule?
It's a contributing factor. It is a contributing factor, which is why these investigations are difficult to complete at times. It's not as there are a lot of protections there with regards to how quickly we can interview, when we can interview, and when we can interview on certain things that might be pertinent to the investigation. And that's why the mayor this last session pushed very hard to have some of those laws changed. And unfortunately, we were not successful. But you know, it's something that we definitely push for, and we see now in cases like this where it might be helpful to have some of those laws amended so that you can get more transparency and more information out to the public in a timely manner. But we can't complete the investigation until we've had the opportunity to interview and talk to everyone, and sometimes you know that can be a challenge under the current rules. But the last thing I want to say on that is another thing that the mayor has said all this week. All of the witnesses that are coming forward and speaking out and acknowledging their accounts of what they say happened, we encourage them to keep coming forward, because that's critical information that we need to be able to scrutinize the information that we have and figure out what the truth is. Because, Larry, as you know, the reason why part of the reason why this is so difficult to determine what happened is because I wasn't there, the mayor wasn't there, none of us was there. So what we have to rely on is the information provided by the people who were there. So there are witnesses that saw something different. Come forward. Please keep sharing that information.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you. Clock's over here. I'm going to come back. We're way over time. We understand that. Thank you much. It's 8:49. We're going to take a quick break here. Some information. We're going to be imposing on now Attorney Bill Murphy for about one more 2 segments at best. And we also do want to have a final moment to honor the life of the fantastic Mr. Dr. Levi Watkins. And we do want to have a moment or so to speak about his great work and dealing with the fact that today is his memorial service. 8:50 here on 1010 WOLB.
That's what Larry Young Morning Show. Great interview. Until next time, folks.
Talk Radio. This is your Taxi Talk Radio. This is your Taxi Talk Radio. This is your Taxi Talk Radio. Starring Mary Taxi. Starring Mary the
Yeah, I like that.
Sounds good.